Welcome back, scribes. It's Pika Lee, and today I have for you another Writemas video. Of course, today is a very fitting one because I just hit my 100 subscriber goal. Yay me! And I wanted to really enjoy this moment by doing something that I love to do the most: set goals. Now, I talk to you almost every video about Ink and Volt Planner. Yes, I've got another one for the new year. This is my 2020 color of the year. This is not literally my color of the year, but it is another color. I like to have them all in different colors. And I am so excited. This one is an undated 6-month goal setting planner. So I can't wait to kind of use this one and see how it goes for me this year. Now, it's never too early to start setting your goals. You don't want to set it the day of New Year. You don't want to have January 1st, the moment that you're setting up the whole rest of your year. So the first thing that I do is I take my planner, I date it, I make sure that I check out the first few pages because that's where I do my actual goal planning. There's a bunch of questions that Ink and Volt has, and I'm going to go through them with you today, so you're going to kind of get a little sneak peek of this. Now, right in the beginning of the book, they ask some really interesting questions to set up your whole year. The first thing that they start with is your theme. So yes, you have to pick a theme for the year. Most of the time, I pick sort of like a motto for the year, and that becomes something that I sort of base my year around. Now, last year it was the millionaire mindset, and that's not to say that I thought I was going to be a millionaire by this time last year, but it is to say that I wanted to have the strategies employed by millionaires, which was getting up early, making sure to work on my projects, and making sure to knock out any procrastination, scheduling, things like that. And I did really well with that this year, but I want to take it a step farther next year, so I'll get back to you on my motto for the year once I come up with it. I probably won't be doing this along with you today because I have to really dig deep and think about mine, but for you, even though you may not do it today either, I want you to definitely think about it, come back to this video, sit down, and write it all out. Now, coming up with this motto or mantra for the year is something that you can wake up to and you can look back and refer to in your notes to sort of get the feeling of, oh, this is what I wanted for myself this year. And I really, really enjoy doing this part because sometimes I even sort of write a little line, maybe something that I've seen before in a book, and I put it right in this big box that's right on the first page, and I look back at it often. Yes, sometimes I have to remind myself what my mantra for the year was. So the next part of this is your vision. What are you thinking about for the next 3 to 5 years, personally, professionally, and of course socially? So I like to write down a few pointers. I don't really get too into detail because, to be honest, I'm in a field where that's constantly changing, and I am not great with sticking with plans, as I can tell by when I try to plot out what videos I'm going to do for you all, and then I change my mind the day of. So be mindful that your vision isn't to say this is set in stone, but it is to give you a sort of outlook. What are you thinking at this moment in life about where you'd like to be in the future? That way you can sort of plan it out. Without that information, you can't really plan your steps to get there. So that's why it's really important to do this part. For me professionally, I know that I would like to be in the writing field. So at this point, I would probably like to build my channel. And that was something that I actually did say. I wanted to see my channel grow in the next few years. So I'm really happy already with the fact that I am kind of going through that path by putting those smaller blocks in the next section, but we'll get to that. So professionally, we know that I would like to be building my platform as well as writing professionally. And of course, I'd like to be entering or making most of my films into actual content for viewers to see, actually on the big screen or the small screen, your screen. Now, remember when I said the next section would be part of the last section? Well, let's get to that because this part is key actions and milestones. Now, this is basically breaking down your larger goals into smaller bite-sized goals. I say in 5 years, I want to have a book published. And I want to have an agent also. So my first book published and an agent. That means that I would have to start building up my repertoire of books, and then I would have to be querying for the next few years, as well as maybe joining some more conferences and maybe writing some other books and maybe self-publishing before I actually get my agent with my traditional publishing in the next 5 years. So there's just so many different routes that you can go, and basically so many different smaller goals that you can put in between. So let's say I want to go into development in the next 5 years. I would make sure that I am doing what I need to get into the development department, which would mean getting into a studio at a low-level job, working my way up through the development levels, working next to a actual development executive, maybe as an assistant, and then screenplay reading, things like that I would want to strive for as my goals, and that is going to lead me into the development field. So think in terms of smaller goals to get to that larger goal, and things that are attainable for you. You don't want to discourage yourself. Having smaller chunks of goals is actually to help you feel motivated to continue for that larger goal. And also, of course, to build you up to that next step to get that large goal that you want. Now, what I love about this planner this year, it actually has large goals in a separate page, and then it breaks it down into smaller tasks to get that large goal into play for this year. Because remember, I don't know if you saw my last video, but I went through sort of like all the goals that I had for the year, which was 6 pieces of writing. That was my professional sort of standard for my writing pieces and projects for the year. And of course, I did not quite hit the 6 project mark, but I did get most of them done, so I'm pretty proud of myself on that. And of course, one of my goals was, again, to get 100 subscribers, which, ding ding ding, I achieved somehow by making it a very manageable amount, because let me just tell you that my first amount was 1K subscribers for the year. Is that not nuts? Do you know how long it takes people to get 1K? A very long time. Now for this, you put your big goal up at the top of the page, and then of course, like I said, you've got some action plan tasks that you need to do to set it in motion for the year. There are about 3 things that I didn't see last year in my actual goal planner that I really enjoy for this one. I do see that there's a little sort of loading bar for the goal, and then it tells you what date you completed that, which is really awesome. It's a little progress bar, and it's just adorable. And then there's also a small motivation section where you can go ahead and write something that can motivate you to get this goal done. And then you've also got this little section on analysis, which to me, it's just what I wanted, because I actually keep all of my journals so that I can go back over time and see how much progress I have made over the years and what I've been doing right. So I really enjoy this part and this page, and I will go ahead and let you take a peek at that too in case you're interested in getting one of these really nifty goal books. Now for these goal books, I actually mostly track my writing projects. I know that I showed you how to use Asana, and if you haven't seen that video, I suggest you go take a look. Asana is great at project management, and even if you're not doing project management in the way that most people do actual projects with, it's great for writers, and it's great to have your ideas stored away there so that you can move them over when you've actually gone ahead and started to work on them. So again, check that one out. Now the analysis portion tells you obstacles, and it lets you list how to get over those obstacles. So for me, I think the biggest one is scheduling, and that is mostly because I schedule slightly unrealistically, and I try to put a lot on my plate. I mean, so much so that this Christmas I just kind of want to go out to go enjoy some scenery, but I'm also planning on doing a video shoot at the same time because I just can't help myself. So having a journal that you're constantly updating your goals in kind of helps you live and breathe all of your significant things and goals and hobbies that you are doing and that you want to improve upon. So for me, of course, that's writing, screenwriting, of course, mainly, and novel writing when I do have the time for it. So it's a really big, important step for me, and it's really become such a repetition for me that I have gotten so much better at keeping track of those goals, and it's really worth it. Trust me. It's great for analysis, like I said, because if you are not strict with yourself, it's really hard to figure out where it is you go wrong and why you're not sort of moving forward. Now in this goal book, there's also bringing your year into focus, and it's got some really great questions to sort of let you reflect and think about, which is why I love this planner so darn much because it lets you really think deeply about yourself and answer these questions in a very honest fashion, because no one's gonna see this except for you. I mean, no one's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know? Just don't show it to anybody. So it has questions like, how will you improve yourself this year? And what could you change from last year? And what would your year look like if it went perfectly? And what would you stop doing this year? Now, honestly, this year I have so much that I want to do. I am so looking forward to sitting down and writing all of it in my actual Ink and Volt planner for the year. So excited because I have so many great things planned, including launching some really fun merch January 1st. So if you're really into writers merch, check out my channel. January 1st, I'll be dropping some links for everyone to enjoy some writing merch. And if you're wondering what kind of things I'm going to be selling, check out my Write With Me video. Right in the very beginning, you'll see 2 fun stickers that I have on my laptop, which I actually personally made myself. Those are 2 of my designs that I'll be selling on actual t-shirts and all kinds of really cool goodies, so check it out. I'm glad you all stuck with me on this one. I hope that this helps you really settle down and look at your goals and look at your new year in a positive light, and I hope that this helped you out. Write some of your goals down below. I want to hear about them. And I will see you on the next one, scribes. 100 followers. Remember to check out my merch. Well, let's get to that, because this part is key actions and milestones.